Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day, and today is Monday the 8th, and today was a gorgeously beautiful day outside. Weather was absolutely just phenomenal. I mean, you couldn't really ask for a better day. Nice and cool, start off the morning with. In the sun it was a little warm, but not hot at any time. So I was like sweating at some points, but nothing really major. I got a couple things done around the house here. Had a couple movies that I'd rented from Redbox. Had some free codes that I forgot to use until they expired last night. So I got them rented. Ended up renting Need for Speed with Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. Not a bad movie. I heard a ton of people just talking shit about how bad it was. And yes, the whole car racing part was crap, and a lot of the things they're doing couldn't happen in real life and all that kind of stuff. But I can look past that most of the time really easily if it's got a decent plot line, a decent storyline, and it seemed to have it. It had a nice little love story type, kind of twist at the end and all that good thing. But overall, just a damn good movie. I was happy with it. It's not something I'd buy, not something I'll watch over and over again, but it was a good movie overall. And the other one was, I think, called Non-Stop. I think it's basically where the plane hijacking going on in that. Good movie. A little more suspenseful than the one. I was having a little bit of issue with it in the beginning. I had to kind of really go back and see what's going on quite a bit, because I was trying to get other stuff done around the house as I was kind of listening to it / watching it. And there was a lot of text messaging going on the screen where you're supposed to read what his phone's saying, and that kind of kept throwing me off. I had to back up the DVD and watch it again to see exactly what the bad guy said or the good guy said, and back and forth and all that good stuff. So that was a little bit annoying, but overall, decent movie also. I was a big fan of it. So, again, not one I'll watch 100 times, but definitely, a movie I'd recommend to somebody who watches quite a few movies, looking for a little more action, a little more suspense. I would recommend that. So, that's not my thing. I usually never watch, movies at all, like full-length movies like that, and I definitely never watch two in a day. So super impressed that I actually got that done, partly because I was up at 6:15, 6:30, something like that this morning, and could not get back to sleep. So I ended up having a lot more time than I normally would have had, so I was able to get those watched out. Went and set up a couple tents. My buddy was cleaning out a bunch of stuff in the house and that, and he had two old tents he wanted to get rid of. And one of them was a one-man, which it's awfully big for one man, but it's not big enough for one man and a Great Dane, because we got that set up, and by the time I got it figured out and got it set up, I was sweating inside the tent. It was pretty hot, and I got my dog in there, and he was taller than the tent was. It was one of those real, kind of like a tomb-type tent, real short thing, and basically he wasn't liking that too much. Set up the other tent, which I think he says a two-man tent, but you could easily fit four people in it pretty darn easily. So got that set up, and it's much more of like a dome-style tent with a rain top and that. The one thing I wasn't a big fan of it, neither one of them really had a way of closing off the vent on top to kind of make it a warm tent. These are definitely warm weather tents. These were not winter tents at all. But I can't really look a gift horse in the mouth. They're free tents. So I went ahead, and both of them had poles that are busted, which I'm going to look into getting the kits to rebuild the poles. Not that big a deal. I electrical taped them up, and they seem to be pretty strong. I'd never set a tent up before in my life. I realized that today. I've slept in tents many times, always been set up by other people. And when I camped on my own, we either had an old, really crappy camper that we had to kind of sit out in the woods, or we'd take places down by the river and that kind of thing. Or we would sleep in the back of a pickup truck, or just literally on a blanket out underneath the stars. So maybe underneath a picnic table, that kind of stuff. We never really had tents, I guess, as a kid. So I had to figure it out. I was having a hard time figuring out what was going on. No instructions in that in the tent. Got it all finally figured out. I actually had it set up and it was up, but I realized I had it wrong. So I had to go back and kind of change it up. Got it set up a lot better. Still was not overly impressed with the little one. A little too small, which it'd be fine if a guy was going by himself or had a small dog. But Bruce kept hitting his head on top of the tent. That's how short the tent was. So not a big one there. Went ahead and got the blue one set up. Got it all tore back down again. Packed up real tight. Cleaned out the van while I was at it. Got that thing all vacuumed out and cleaned out and kind of, I don't know, ready to go where. But it's not. It might go with me to my race coming up next week, this coming weekend. Might not. My hope is to take the car. So I went ahead and started packing the car up. I got the tent in it. I've got the pop-up, like a 10-foot by 10-foot canopy, like a little sunshade deal. I'll probably put out there for Bruce to kind of hang out in the shade in. Maybe you can set it up over top the car. She likes to lay in the car quite a bit. Hoping I can park somewhere near the start-finish line that I can kind of have him staked out there. Got the dog tie outs. I've got the dog steak. I've got the tent in there. I've got all kinds of stuff ready to go. Tons of toys, tons of treats. Got room for the tent. I do have an umbrella in there also. I've got my sleeping pads, sleeping blanket. I'm still going to have to, or sleeping bag, I guess, actually. I'm going to take a couple more blankets, get my pillows. That'll be last. As I leave Thursday, I'll grab those. Spent basically a lot of time getting the pads ready, getting the sleeping cot type deal. Not a cot, but just like it's like the foam pad to go underneath me. Got that ready to go. Everything's in the car. I think I have room for the big cooler and the little cooler, so I might take them both. I'm going to be gone at least Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and possibly Sunday. If I do end up running the full 50-mile race, I might be gone Monday, depending on how I feel like driving home or not. That might really suck. So I'm going to take plenty of tea, plenty of water. I can always grab food and stuff, not that big deal. I'll take some Mountain Dew with me, of course, also. Just getting ready to go, I guess. So that was quite a bit of work. Just kind of the tent thing was, I'm glad I did take the time to set that up, because I don't know the first night. Hopefully I'll get down there in time for sunlight to get it all set up and ready to go. But it's one of those deals where the fact that I know how to do it now, hopefully will make it a lot easier when it comes time to actually set it up once I get down there. So I did have to get some more tent stakes. There was not enough in either one of the kits to set up the tent. They'd been bent over and lost and whatnot. So I put the two tent stakes together from the one-man tent with the big blue tent. Now I have to do is remember to buy some more stakes for the small tent in case I ever want to use it by itself. So that right there will be something that I'll need to try to go buy. I can't imagine they're more than probably $4 or $5 for some stakes, but get those set out there and get that ready to go. So that's pretty much all. Then I got done with that. Ended up talking with a friend of mine that stopped by, just kind of discussing their life and all this little problems and the issues and stuff, working into that. It's always a fun thing to kind of help people try and get through. And then went for my run. Forgot to take back my Redbox movie, so I actually ran out to Walmart, dropped them back off again. Tied the dog to a stop sign, which was always kind of feels super weird doing that. I don't do it too often, especially I've never done it before to run into a Walmart, but it worked out. Nobody was anywhere near him. It's late at night, nobody cares. So grabbed the dog, came back, finished our little 5K run, and it was like a 27-minute 5K run, like that, which is amazing because 2 years ago I couldn't run that at all. I couldn't even run 5K. And definitely even a year ago, I wasn't doing, well, I guess about a year ago, it would have been about my best PR would have been a 27-minute 5K. So definitely really interesting there and good times. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching.